Thousands of Brits dream of starting new lives in the sun.
This is lovely. That water's so warm.
Drawn by the promise of cheap property and a very different way of life.
Look at the office. Could be worse, couldn't it?
But there's not always time to relax.
This is not something for the faint-hearted.
I don't think it's going to be ready.
As they launch brand new businesses.
I'll definitely enjoy my bed this evening.
Seemed like a good idea at the time.
Now we're with a new wave of expats.
All our worldly goods.
Opening restaurants and launching boats in Spain.
She's the admiral, I'm just the captain.
Vineyards and campsites in France.
It was genuinely giving me sleepless nights.
But will it be sweet success?
It puts us on the map, big time.
Or will things turn sour?
We are broke.
And can the latest Brits really find happiness in the sun?
How lucky you are to live here with me.
So lucky.
Today, a glamping site in the Dordogne says farewell to its first customers.
They've been really pleasant to our faces. We're both feeling anxious.
But does the feedback make for happy reading?
Oh, I'm going to cry.
Go on, just read it.
In Mallorca,
we have a big group of multimillionaires that have booked for a team building event.
a dangerous new excursion for an adventure company.
And it scares me because they've probably got quite a good lawyer base behind them if they have an accident.
And in France,
I'm trying to explain to her I didn't want one mass order.
These wannabe caterers are feeling the heat.
I'm a bloody management accountant, not a lackey in a kitchen.
With only 120 inhabitants per square mile, 10 times less than Kent, the French Dordogne is a firm favourite amongst British expats, including Ben and Laura Pantry from Essex, who just moved to the village of Champagnac-de-Belair with their 2 children, Sienna and Lula.
It was a lovely day in July. We pulled up down the bottom. Instantly, we looked at each other and we were like, yeah, this is perfect.
Yeah.
It's a great place to live. It's so relaxed.
We absolutely love it.
7 months ago, Ben and Laura bought this 4-acre plot and turned it into a glamping ground with 6 luxury tents. After a £15,000 refurbishment, Ben and Laura have just welcomed their first ever guests. Initial impressions were good, but with the guests checking out soon, they're about to find out whether they had a good night's sleep.
We're both feeling anxious, excited to get the feedback. They've been really pleasant to our faces. They seem like they've had a really good time, but it'll be interesting to see what feedback, if any, they give us. That's what it's all about. It'll be a conclusion to our first ever glampers.
Time to find out what American students Sarah and Ellen made of the glamp site.
It's fantastic.
It's really great.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, this tent is amazing. This place is so great. I feel relaxed and ready for the world again. The tent was really, really great. It's so large that it feels like a space you want to stay in. Slept 10 hours. It was great.
As they bid bon voyage to Ellen and Sarah, it's time for Ben and Laura to do their first changeover.
Whee! Yeah, it's gorgeous. Oh, look, they've even made the bed.
Ah, bless them.
Wow.
Awesome.
The pantries.
The pantries. OK, wow, I think you need to read that.
Dear Ben and Laura, well done. This place is... Oh, I'm going to cry.
Go on, just read it.
This place is everything we hope for. Waking up every morning to those beautiful birds in the trees felt like a dream. It was so awesome to meet you both and your precious little girls. You're an inspiring family. Take care. We can't wait to see this glamp ground flourish even more. Love, Sarah and Ellen.
Awesome.
Oh, that's so sweet.
That's lovely, yeah, really.
Yeah.
It's the perfect start for Ben and Laura and worth toasting.
Cheers to Belair Le Camping.
To Belair Le Camping and our new life in France. Oh, it's nice.
The season has started on a high for Ben and Laura, but whilst they've managed to provide 5-star accommodation for their guests, they are living in anything but.
When we bought the property, our main focus was on
the campsite and the business, and we didn't pay a great deal of attention to the house. We kind of just thought, yeah, that's fine, we can work with it. Having now lived here, we realise there's a lot of work to do, a lot of work.
Built in the 18th century, this traditional French farmhouse is full of character and charm, but it's also in need of some serious TLC.
We actually have in here, bizarrely, a little bit of a strange bathroom in a cupboard. It's livable. It's not really my choice, and at some point this summer we'll be ripping it out and redoing it.
And it seems like the Glampsite guests are not the only ones sleeping under the stars.
So this is going to, well, it is our bedroom, and again, it needs a lot of work. There's no insulation in the roof whatsoever, and you can see daylight now. Sometimes I think to myself, you know, what am I doing? Why don't I just buy a normal house, get a job? But the fact is, I can already see the finished product. I can see that this will make a fantastic family home.
But renovating this house won't come cheap. And to be able to fund this family's dream of living here, they need more than just one set of happy guests. The island of Mallorca is the perfect destination for lovers of the great outdoors. It boasts 500 kilometres of coast for water sports fans and more than 400 kilometres of hiking trails for mountain types, all providing some breathtaking sights.
The whole point of coming to Mallorca to live was to live this Spanish lifestyle. You are living the dream in such a glorious place.
Former vet nurse Tracy Tomlin from Milton Keynes and her business partners Augusto and Miguel run one of the island's biggest adventure companies. After moving to expensive new premises, they had a shaky start to the season, dogged by staff problems and costly van repairs. But at the height of the summer season, the bookings have picked up and the euros are finally rolling in.
4 people. They have to pay $239.60.
It's August, and company accountant Augusto has just received an unusual but potentially profitable request.
On the 11th, we have a big group of some multimillionaires that have booked us for a team building event that is a rope swing.
But this is one adrenaline activity the company doesn't usually offer, so it's going to take a lot of careful planning. With the wealthy clients looking to arrive on the island in just a week's time, head guide Miguel needs to inspect the rope swinging site.
There we go.
The arch is situated close to the town of Santanyí on the south of the island and is called Es Pontas, or the Big Bridge in Catalan.
Our plan is to make a rope swing. The rope goes behind the bridge, and from the other side is where we jump.
This dramatic freestanding arch is the only place on the island where this rope swing can take place. And the company is the only one that can provide it.
We are the only ones who's done it before. We tried 3 or 4 times. There were people here, and they were screaming to us to know how much they had to pay to go on it. 20 people, asking for it.
But for such a potentially lucrative activity, there is one big snag in the way. The government's permission is required every time they want to use the bridge.
The government body which is in charge of the coast, that's the ones, we have to ask. Submit a request to be able, to do it, but we'll see.
The department which looks after Mallorca's coastline, called Costas, has been cautious in the past about granting permission to jump.
They think, if we use it, we're going to destroy it. At the end of the day, we always depend on the government to say yes or to say no. The chances, to say no, they're pretty high.
With less than a week before the booking, Miguel delivers the application by hand to try to speed things up.
They just told me they have a lot of work and they don't know if they're going to be able to have it or not.
4 days later, there's still no response, so they might have to cancel this lucrative booking.
We could take the risk and do it with no permissions from Costas, and that we would be risking to get a huge fine. We could be talking about 10,000 to 25,000 euros fine. The other one, it would have to be to cancel the whole event.
Back in the Dordogne, it's the end of July, and ex-policeman Paul, accountant Lisa, and her two daughters, Eleanor and Isabel, are enjoying life at the holiday complex they bought a year ago.
It's nice to see them outside. Actually nice to see them all giggling and laughing. Who can complain of this?
They may be enjoying their own facilities, but with no guests currently in, amateur chef Paul is once again getting his apron out to supplement the family income.
I've kind of agreed to help with the local village barbecue, or not help with it, run the whole thing. It happens every single Friday night from the beginning of summer to the end. So I'm going to keep it simple, which means burgers, a bruschetta and just some chipolata sausage in a roll.
Paul and Lisa hope to open a restaurant in one of the gîtes eventually, so this will be good practice as well as good publicity.
If I could do good burgers, the word might spread, more people might come, and it's good if we do get to the restaurant stage that people will know, oh yeah, you could do a good burger.
Hello.
So, I was pricing everything up. So the burger bap works out 61 cents each. The actual burger itself is €1.07. A salad leaf is 5 cents.
You calculated a salad leaf?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
And that equates to €3.30. So I reckon, cost-wise, it'll be about €5.
How many are you catering for?
Right. I reckon it's just going to be the stalwart locals. I'll be lucky to see 20 people.
With the ingredients prepared, it's time for Paul and Lisa to drive to the barbecue venue in the town's main park.
It's 7:15 now, and it starts at 7. But the French are always late anyway, so I'm just trying to be more French.
At least he's embracing French culture. And one person he does need to impress is the local mayor, who's organising the event.
Sure, ça va, oui, bien.
Yeah? What?
I'm not going to use this side. I'm only going to use that side. I'm going to use this to get it going, then I'll use that.
Just get the fire going and stop being funny.
But as the first punters turn up, it's clear to Paul that he may well have underestimated the number of customers.
A little worried that I haven't brought enough food. Well, I could count 24 people here, 25 already. I've only got 20 burgers. I'm going to sell out, I reckon. Quick.
Paul, how many are they seating? Should have bought some more burgers.
With no shops for miles around open at this time, running out of food would be a disaster. Fingers crossed the assembling hordes aren't too hungry.
Do you want me to start cooking some burgers?
Yes. Do you want me to take orders then?
No, I need them to know that if they want something from the barbecue, they come up and ask for it, and I'll cook it to order.
The instructions seem easy enough, but organising the punters turns out to be a trickier job than anticipated.
You must take the ticket and then bring the ticket to Paul. Yes, this is for Paul, but the burger he must have a ticket. So if you could let people know that if they want the burger, then Paul will cook it to order.
I want a burger.
Burger with cheese or cheese
with cheese? With cheese.
But things soon get a little lost in translation. Instead of individual orders, all the requests come in one overwhelming hit.
I'm trying to explain to her, I didn't want one mass order. All I wanted people to come up and say, can I have this please, and I'll cook it for them. Do you know, in my head, it's simple to not take entire party's order at the one time. So what have we got so far?
I'm a bloody management accountant, not a lackey in a kitchen.
Well, I can't honestly do everything.
With stacks of orders, Paul decides to prioritise.
2 goat's cheese burgers for the mayor and his missus.
And a bruschetta.
And a
Right,
bruschetta
let me
for
do
his
that
mayor and
just
his
now.
missus.
OK.
Impressing the local mayor is vital if they want to carry on cooking for the village barbecue, but it seems like the other customers can't wait for their burgers too.
No, try hot dog. You're not number 4.
Number 4?
No. You're number 5. Toi? Oui, toi?
What a nightmare.
So will Paul and Lisa get their fingers burnt trying to run this barbecue business? In Mallorca, Tracy Tomlin's adventure company stands to earn big money, taking a group of wealthy customers rope swinging from this rock formation. But 72 hours before the activity is due to take place, they still haven't received the authorization to access the venue from the government.
Gracias, hasta luego. They were gone for breakfast, so I have to ring in 10 minutes.
Augusto's been ringing the government all morning, but his persistence pays off and he finally gets through to the office.
Yes, we got the permission.
Result.
If we had to cancel this activity and reimburse all that money and start doing bank transaction and apologizing, so yeah, it's a big relief.
3 days later, the guides need to set up the safety equipment to carry out this dangerous activity, and boss Tracy watches them risking their neck.
We have to set this up every time we do it, and there's a huge amount of human error that could happen. We have to check the bolts, we have to check that we've screwed everything on tight enough. It's going to take about 2 hours to set up in total. They can only jump 10 times per rope. So we have to change the rope, the ends of the rope, or it will snap. And obviously the consequences of it snapping are quite huge.
And as head guide Miguel fixes the safety bolts onto the rock, their millionaire clients arrive in style on board a 90-foot chartered yacht.
That is absolutely one ginormous boat. I mean, it scares me because they've probably got quite a good lawyer base behind them if they have an accident. So yeah, it's really important that guys get it right today.
On the rock, it's a tense time. The boys have finished anchoring the safety equipment and have to do the critical test jump.
My heart's always in my mouth when they actually do that test jump, because if they've done something wrong, it's actually one of our employees that is going to be injured. That's always when my heart's in my mouth, and that's always really scary for me and nervous that they got it right.
Safety checks all in place. It's time for guide Juan B to take the plunge. Success.
The test jump went well. We know everything's safe. That bodes well. Now it's just down to them checking each and every individual that goes to jump. But it means that the actual rigging's good, and the ropes are good, and the bolts are good. So yeah, big relief that Juan B made it okay.
As the first clients climb their way up the arch, Tracy thinks back to the one and only time she tried this activity herself.
The adrenaline rush is huge. Once you get up there and you look down, you realise that you actually get a free fall until the rope actually catches you and you make that swing. You're like, okay, so I'm banking on this thing catching me. And it's really, yeah, it's really scary.
The company has earned €2,000 for just half a day's work. And after a successful afternoon of rope swinging, Tracy hopes one day this excursion could become a regular earner.
What would be really nice is to get the costas approval to be here as a company and regulate. And what we don't want is people coming and using our bolts for safety reasons, trying to set it up themselves and having an accident. I mean, it's a beautiful, beautiful area. The damage to the rock itself is nothing. And yeah, I think it would attract a lot of tourism to this side of the island where people don't normally come.
As the clients sail away satisfied, it's been the most profitable day of the season for Tracy's team. Now it's time to return to shore, and they've chosen the quickest route. It's June in the little hamlet of Champagnac-de-Belair, close to Brantôme, and Ben and Laura Pantry are in their first summer season running their very own glamp site. Today, the couple are bracing themselves for their biggest booking yet.
Today we've got our first full glamp site, and all of our 5 grassland tents are all full. We've got a large group of foreign visitors coming today, which is, I haven't really had a lot of communication with them.
And if that wasn't enough pressure, Laura's in-laws are on their way too.
We've got Ben's mum and 2 sisters coming all along for the ride, so it's busy, busy, busy. It's a good test of how the campsite works at full occupancy. And busy looking after a family as well. Hey, Lula? Yeah.
With Ben at the airport picking up their visiting family, it's down to Laura to welcome guests and entertain daughters Sienna and Lula.
Sienna, please stop putting stuff in the pool. Adding all these dirty things is not helping me.
And Laura is feeling the pressure of welcoming their first non-English speaking guests.
I think they come from Switzerland and they speak German and they email me in French. I just don't know what to expect. Oh, who's this?
So, will it be bonjour or guten tag?
Hello. Verini, is it? Bonjour. Oui, bonjour, hello. Did you have a good journey?
The Issenegger family have booked 2 of the Bell tents for a 2-night stay to attend a family wedding nearby.
Les toilettes, là-bas. Washing up. So this tent is Lux, the love tent.
As the Swiss family settles in, Ben's arrived back. While his mum stays in the house, sisters Jo and Jess and their friends will be sharing a tent.
Auntie Jo. Gorgeous girl.
Ben and Laura haven't seen their family in 6 months.
They've been so excited to see everyone.
But due to the amount of guests on site, Ben's sisters and their friends will all be sleeping in the same tent, which has been kitted out with 2 extra airbeds.
No, she's paying. She is paying guests. Yeah, she's paying. I can't go. I'm not Cherry. Sounds mean, doesn't it? It's like my own sister, but no, she's paying.
But as bona fide guests, Ben's sisters and their friends have high expectations. They've ordered the full package, including breakfast delivered to their tent.
It was the glamping aspect rather than the camping, so it's got proper beds and a bit more comfort than you'd get if you were going camping normally.
Everything's provided for you here.
Early the next morning, Laura is picking up fresh croissants for all of her guests, which she'll deliver straight to their tent.
So I need any croissants?
Non, j'ai pas de croissant.
But Laura is regretting not calling ahead, because at just 8:45 a.m, it seems like the bakery's run out of croissants.
Seems that everyone wants croissants this morning, but they only have 2 croissants out of 13. 10, okay, 10, and then so...
The helpful baker manages to find some more, but still not enough for all the guests.
I think maybe I'll pre-warn them when I go tomorrow.
Laura arrives back, braced to reveal the croissant crisis.
I have a confession. Okay. The boulangerie was shocked at my order of 1 billion croissants. Okay. So I haven't got as many croissants as I wanted.
But the pastry problems are the least of their worries.
Did you sleep okay?
Not the best.
No. Why was that?
Well, we just had to turn our beds around because we kept rolling, didn't we?
Who was on the airbeds?
Me and Lorraine.
Right.
Yeah.
Oops. Ben's sister and her friend aren't happy with their airbeds. They deflated during the night, which means they haven't slept a wink.
There's 1 double bed and 2 airbeds. And we were voted to have the double bed. So we have the double bed and the other ladies have the airbeds. And I think the airbeds are more suited to children, is what we've discovered, rather than adults.
Family, they know you, so in a way I want it to be even better for them because it's more personal, I think. So I am disappointed that the sister didn't have a great night's sleep, but we can do something about it.
With a full house and 2 more nights to endure, how will Laura and Ben keep their paying relatives happy? In the Dordogne village of Aimée, the mayor has invited Paul and Lisa to cater for the village barbecue. It's a great opportunity to showcase Paul's chefing skills. But so far, Lisa's failure to grasp his complicated ordering system has caused sparks to fly.
I'll find out how well it went at the end of the night if I'm in trouble or not.
And there's another problem. A lot more people have turned up than Paul predicted.
5 plus 4, there's 9 burgers left. And there's still a lot of people to queue up.
And still the orders keep coming.
Hello. Fromage. Burger fromage. 3 dogs, sorry, 4 burgers.
They're on, yeah.
With such a big turnout, Paul has finally run out of ingredients.
Pulled out the burgers and there's still a queue. I kind of thought that was going to happen.
With many people still queuing, Paul and Lisa need to find a solution and fast.
And these poor people have been so polite in the queue. Now they've run out. So hopefully we'll pacify them with hot dogs and bruschettas instead. Voilà, merci. Hello, darling. Yes, my sweetie.
One more burger.
No, the burgers are all gone. We've got hot dogs and bruschettas.
So despite the lack of burgers, what do the customers think of Paul's cooking?
Fantastic. Absolutely delicious.
Très bon. Bon.
Ah, ouais, ouais.
Super.
Very good.
And what about the main man himself, the village mayor?
Yes, it's very good.
Bon pour moi parce que I get to do what I like. J'aime cooking, cuisiner.
Oui.
The mayor, he has been so helpful, hasn't he, to us, and so encouraging and so accommodating. To come and say to Paul that that was spectacular and excellent and the burgers were amazing, and it's just really nice to have that affirmed.
Mission accomplished. One happy mayor and the crowds were fed just
3, about €220. And we're really going to have to scale up for next week. I quite enjoy it. And then everyone's having such a good time. It's good. I don't know why more places in England don't do this, actually. It's such a nice thing for the community to do.
By the skin of his teeth, Chef Paul has managed to impress the locals and the many fellow expats who live in the area.
Hey! Oops.
Cheers.
Got there in the end, eh?
They've done extremely well this evening because it was off the cuff, short notice. So to get 30, 35 people to turn up on a chilly Friday night is, I think, a great achievement.
Yeah, I think it went well, actually.
I think that went really well. It was a bit hectic because I didn't really know what to do.
Oh, we're getting a clap. Thank you. Thank you.
Kiss the bride.
With a few big bookings on the horizon at their holiday complex, it will be a busy end of the summer for Paul and Lisa. In Mallorca, with an average of 7 excursions taking place every day, Tracy's adventure company is now back on track and making money. Their shaky start is now well behind them.
A great adventure for old men.
But back home in the flat she rents in the town of Millionaire, Tracy is starting to feel frustrated.
We've been here now nearly 5 years. We face a little bit of a dilemma because we are expecting our rent to kind of go up quite significantly, which is another reason we was looking to buy and to have something to make your own.
Tracy and Augusto have been renting their flat for 4 years for €500 a month. Even though it's near to the beach, it's not exactly the home Tracy's always dreamt of.
I never really wanted to live in a flat. I'm always a little bit of a country girl, so I really miss having a back garden. I miss it even more so that we've got the sun and no back garden. So not having that is huge for me on a personal level.
With business finally picking up, Tracy and Augusto have decided to take the plunge and tonight are viewing a house for sale in nearby Puig de Ros.
Hopefully we're outside our new house. Hopefully. Oh gosh, I think our neighbours might have dogs. I hate small dogs.
This Spanish semi comes with 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a garden and a swimming pool. But it's not a risk-free purchase, as it was repossessed by the bank when the builders went bust during the financial crisis. Originally, it was on sale for €700,000.
It was built in 2009. It's not completely finished. We will buy it as seen, so we won't know if the water works, if the swimming pool works. So it's a bit of a gamble. This would be the front room. Lots of light, lots of sun, lots of windows, which is key for me because I don't like to feel boxed in. And then out onto the patio. Swimming pool. Bueno, it's a bit dirty, but...
It's not that much of a swimming pool. Well, I call it a big bath.
Izzy will love it. This is what it'll be about. I suppose this is what you dream of, for me, becoming permanent in Spain. So having this would be like, I'm finally here. So I suppose it's a huge step for me, but it's really exciting. And a jacuzzi bath is even more exciting.
The couple have made an offer of €325,000, but whether they get their dream home or not rests on the decision of one person.
And not like England, the local bank manager here has the final say on the mortgage. So the best friend at the moment is the bank manager. If it doesn't come off, it will be really disappointed.
There's a part of me that always worries. I mean, we've had to work really hard for it, and we will have to keep on going hard for it.
So we'll run away with
Yeah, let's run away with the keys.
But will business at their adventure company be booming enough to convince the bank manager to give them the mortgage they so desperately need?
Fingers crossed.
It's mid-August at Lisa and Paul's holiday gîte business. Paul's mum and daughter Ellie are visiting from the UK, but they haven't had any time to go out and relax. Paul and Lisa are juggling numerous bookings. 3 sets of guests are departing and new clients arriving, which is great news for their stretched finances.
This is the first time that we've done changeovers on all the gîtes at the same time. And you kind of think, oh, it's just washing the beds and changing the beds, but it's really not. It's pretty much a deep clean for 9 rooms, 22 beds, you know, and only really 6 hours to do it. Even roped in Paul's mum, who's got a poorly foot.
So I'm supposed to be on holiday. However, today's one of their busiest days, so now I'm helping out with the laundry, changing the beds, ironing the sheets. Anything rather than ironing, to be fair, and a cocktail by the pool sounds great. Maybe later on today.
And that's not all. They've roped in all 3 children to get the gîtes ready on time.
My mum gets super stressed when the changeovers are on the same day.
Ellie, please, single beds in Bordeaux.
She will boss everyone.
Need to get your back into it, Isabel.
She's a bossy one.
Pillows, duvets, come on, let's go.
Need a list.
And there's hardly any time left to get through all those jobs on that to-do list.
It's nearly 2:30 and they're coming in 2 hours. The idea of it, running a gîte, is nice and sunny. The reality of it is there's a lot of cleaning to do. So the drainage system in France isn't spectacular, and I've often got me draining rods out cleaning other people's poo. You forget that it's all part of the job.
It's time for Paul and Lisa to inspect the work of their teenage daughters.
What's that? This hasn't been hoovered in here, has it? I could also see something underneath that drawers over there. Yeah, this hasn't been hoovered underneath.
They're only children. It looks like the kids' cleaning has just about passed the test. Just in time for Paul to greet the latest guest, his old friend Ian, who worked alongside Paul as a police officer for the Met.
Do you want to have a look round?
Yeah,
You see the bedrooms, didn't you?
Yeah, I think they only popped in, didn't they?
Ian's on holiday with his 2 children, and Paul takes a chance to show off exactly what his money has bought him in sunny France.
So land-wise, you see that field here?
Yeah.
And then the other field at the back there?
Yeah.
And then the field down the bottom?
Yeah.
They're mine as well.
It's all yours?
Yeah.
Blimey, mate, it's a lot.
And a petanque pitch. You're free to use that anytime you want. Yeah, and then obviously this is mine. Then from there on is a Grand Maison, which
that's a big one, isn't it?
sleeps 16. So that's the boat the lake down there.
Oh, the lake?
Yeah. Well, I say a lake, a little lake.
Yeah, don't forget the lake. And it seems like Paul's tour has made the right impression on Ian.
Paul's doing fantastic. It's always difficult when you leave a job to go and do something that you've always dreamed of. A lot of people from back home would definitely be envious because the lifestyle is unbelievable here. He's obviously got well into the French life.
First guests suitably impressed. It's time for Paul and Lisa to welcome their next set of arrivals, who have brought their family along with them from Surrey to celebrate their wedding anniversary.
Oh, yeah. Paul.
Oh, you're the chef.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
These are 3 my children, and these are my grandchildren. Wow! And this is what 30 years of marriage looks like.
Wow.
Well, congratulations. Wow.
Time for Paul to begin tour number 2.
Living room. Milk and butter and stuff in the fridge, and a little bottle of bubbly for your 30th.
But is the place up to scratch to celebrate the big occasion?
It's a lovely big place. It's well presented. Wow! It's a lovely surprise actually, because you know, look at the building. It looks immaculate, and it's in a nice area of the country.
This is the best house ever.
Just a year. He only moved last July.
I know my children will be very excited about choosing their own room.
Can this be my bed?
No, when do your parents want this? Excuse me. You want to don't you?
It's beautiful. I really like all of it.
I like the pool, the garden, and the house.
And what about you, Bo?
I think the guests seem quite happy with it.
It's always nice when you let them in the door and they're like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's June in Brantôme in the French Dordogne, and expats Ben and Laura are juggling their busiest weekend to date on their glamping site. But with their airbeds deflating, some guests haven't had the best night.
We slept well, yeah. Yeah. We slept not as well.
The ladies have the airbeds, and I think the airbeds are more suited to children, is what we've discovered, rather than adults.
With a full campsite, the only option for Ben and Laura is to buy some new furniture, and fast. And former used car salesman Ben is discovering that keeping holidaymakers happy is a far cry from his old job.
We initially had always supplied a king-size bed for the 2 adults, but yeah, that's something we're now going to have to look into, purchasing some proper beds for when we do have 4 adults in the one tent. It's actually quite a benefit to me when family do come and stay in the tents, because they will give me honest feedback about anything that could be improved. often you'll find that paying guests that are strangers are too polite. They will automatically say everything was really lovely.
The other set of guests, the Isenegger family from Switzerland, also slept here last night.
J'ai bien dormi. C'était très tranquille pendant la nuit. Oui.
They may have had a good night's sleep, but their stay wasn't all plain sailing either.
I've had a few criticisms, I guess, this morning, a few problems. The ladies' showers ran out of gas this morning, so the boiler wouldn't fire, so we were quickly on that.
A couple of other issues were drying their towels, or something we'd completely not thought about. Of course, they used the swimming pool and were kind of hanging their towels wherever. And they said, what would be nice if we could just simply have a pull-out airer. So that's another thing that we'll now be getting for each tent.
You want it to be plain sailing all the time, but at the same time you don't learn from it, so it's good in a way to have these things so we can make it better for them next time.
2 days later, and it's checkout time. It's not been an easy weekend for the Pantry family, but it seems like the guests, including Ben's family, have enjoyed their glamping experience.
It's great listening to all the wildlife at night. And it's a beautiful morning this morning because it is. The sun is shining and there's no clouds in the sky at all.
It's okay.
Ah, okay, merci. Yeah, the money, the change.
No, it's okay.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay, merci. Merci. Thank you for your review, the 5-star review on Google. That was merci.
A 5-star review from the Isenegger family is a great boost for Ben and Laura, and now it's time to bid farewell to their friends and family.
I'll say goodbye. Thank you for
everything. Yeah.
Mwah.
Say bye, Lula. Say bye to everybody.
Yeah, we will be back.
It was lovely to meet you.
Yeah, and you.
We'll do the French.
Thank you so much.
Drive safe. See you later. Bye.
It's been a challenging weekend for Ben and Laura, but fortunately more bookings are coming in. They know they've got a busy summer season ahead of them.
Such a steep learning curve for us. We've never done anything like it. And so literally every couple of hours you are learning something new about what you're doing. Next year will be easier, hopefully.
Next time, Ben and Laura suffer a major setback at their glamping site.
I've tried washing the tent, doesn't work. I've tried sterilising it to kill the mould, doesn't work.
In Mallorca, testing times for Tracy and Augusto.
When the inspection comes, she gets really stressed about it.
They're looking for us not to kill one of their clients.
And as the final customers of the season leave their French B&B...
Thank you. I hope I left it in good order.
It's decision time for Lisa and Paul.
You've got a massive building site right there.
So it's just trying to find a way of actually maximising its potential.